Another day, another chorus of hysterical cries from the GOP that the Democrats are trying to cancel something. This week, we saw the GOP elected officials and faux news in full conniption mode, falsely claiming that Democrats wanted to cancel Dr. Seuss and Mr. Potato Head. The reality, though, is that it's the GOP that is the party of cancel culture. Republican lawmakers have tried to cancel everything from the 81 million people who voted for Joe Biden to now trying to even cancel free pizza for people online waiting to vote in Georgia. The truth, as the GOP must know, is that neither the decision by Dr. Seuss Enterprises to stop printing six titles that the company deemed were hurtful and wrong in the depiction of certain minority communities, nor Hasbro's decision to stop the Mister from its Mr. Potato Head and Mr. Potato Head toy. Biden and the Democratic members have nothing had nothing to do with this anyway. But facts don't matter. But facts don't matter when it comes to Republicans trying to distract from their lack of policies to help Americans in need or score political points anyway. Republicans spun these stories, especially the Dr. Seuss, like it was an official decision by the Democratic Party. Senator Ted Cruz, who truly has earned Donald Trump's nickname of Lying Ted, tweeted, "Joe Biden is trying to cancel Dr. Seuss, which he had nothing to do with." While the House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy openly lied to the floor of the, to lied on the floor of the House, declaring first they outlawed Dr. Seuss, and now they want to tell us what to say. Over on GOP TV, also known as faux news, there was a lot of time spent discussing the Mr. Potato Head being canceled, while channels such as MSNBC and CNN carried live Tuesday's testimony by FBI Director Christopher Wray about the details of the January 6th insurrection incited by Trump, and faux news did not. Instead, it mentioned Wray only 9 times compared to more than 60 references to Dr. Seuss being canceled. Cancel culture was even a theme at the recent CPAC conference. This is not by happenstance. As of now, cancel culture is the GOP's issue for the 2022 midterms. Indeed, the Trump White House aide, Mercedes Schlapp, had told Political this is about how important the cancel culture issue is for the GOP's 2022 strategy. At the end of the day, I think it unifies the party, but it expands in the area that we need to. The suburban moms, the college-educated men that we struggled with in 2020. There's common ground with these constituencies. Excuse me. But today, Democratic leaders have met this issue with a shrug. And that's a big mistake. I'm not suggesting Democrats need to engage in every what they call culture war issue that the GOP fabricates. But this issue is a winner for Democrats because it enables them to remind voters both how Republicans have failed to help the people currently struggling from the fallout of the Trump recession and how GOP elected officials are leading the way to counter everything that they oppose. Just last Sunday, Trump announced the cheers of the right-wing audience at CPAC that has planned to get rid of also known as to cancel the 17 GOP members of Congress who voted to hold him accountable for his role in the January 6th attack on our Capitol. And Saturday, Trump announced that he would personally travel to Alaska to campaign against GOP Senator Lisa Murkowski in the 22 election for voting to convict him in his second impeachment trial. Then there are the Republicans across the country trying to cancel access to the ballot box. In Pennsylvania, a battleground state that Biden won, the GOP lawmakers have announced proposals to cancel the no-excuse mail-in ballots. The reason is obvious, as Pennsylvania Democrats used mail-in ballots at 3 times the rate of Republicans in 2020. In Arizona, a state that Biden won by around 10,500 votes, the GOP officials have alarmingly introduced a bill that would allow the GOP-controlled state legislature to cancel everyone's vote and award the state's electoral votes to the person of their choosing. Well, talk about a cancel culture there. In Georgia, Republicans recently passed a bill in the GOP-controlled state house that would cancel some early voting days on Sunday, a measure that slammed as a racist attack on the souls to the polls and the Get Out of the Vote campaign led by black churches. This GOP bill would even cancel and prohibit allowing volunteers to hand out free food and drink to people waiting for hours to vote. Again, that affects the predominantly black precincts in the Atlanta area. But you get it. Whatever the GOP doesn't like, their elected officials try to cancel, and that's why the Democrats should use this issue to hammer Republicans on everything from their efforts to cancel the popular COVID-19 relief bill to canceling our democracy. And by using this issue effectively, Democrats should be able to cancel a bunch of Republican candidates coming up the 2022 election.